As we look ahead to a team that has made some significant news even ahead of the auction. Big trades, Samson going out, going to CSK, and you have now a Rajasthan team that is the returning Ravindra Jadeja, that has Sam Curran in that team as well. So this should make for a fun conversation. Gentlemen, let's look at the squad first and get an idea of just recap on the new entrants, the big signings that were made. The big news also after the auction and in recent weeks is that Riyan Parag will captain this team. Now, before I go to anything else, there's a lot of new entrants. Of course, we mentioned Jadeja, Sam Curran, Donovan Ferreira, Bishnoi, Adam Milne. We have quite a few uncapped players there as well. We'll see how they go. Riyan Parag is captain. That's a big call. We thought there could be an interest in Jaiswal. There could be an interest in Sam Curran if you go overseas. There was also some chit-chat potentially of Ravindra Jadeja as captain, but they went Riyan Parag. Faf, what does that tell us?
I think it only works if you have a really good coach, because of his lack of experience in terms of captaining in the IPL. So I think it works with Kumar Sangakkara.
Right.
Experience in the IPL, well-liked coach. I think from what I've heard, people talk about him, very good articulator, speaks well, good man manager. So we'll carry that group in terms of the culture, the way that he owns the dressing room, so that will land mostly on him. And I think it will allow him to just find his feet as captain. So he can still focus on his batting, because you always still judged on your runs first and then the captaincy second. And I think it's a really important aspect of him. Quality batsman, we saw last year, he was really successful with a bat. I think his character when it comes to the person that he is, and I don't know him, but just an observation from outside, he will enjoy the extra load or whatever you want to call it in terms of what captaincy brings. I think putting him in the spotlight is where he wants to be, and I think that will bring the best out of him.
All right, let's bring in the team. The ideal team, GS, after those big trades from CSK. Does Curran make it in that team? And what else does it look like from all the changes after Samson's gone?
Yeah, it actually doesn't change too much from last year, because their batting actually did a good job. They just couldn't close matches. They'd taken like almost 5 chases where they came close. So Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Jaiswal at the top, Dhruv Jurel at number 3, Riyan Parag at number 4, Sam Curran and Shimron Hetmyer at 5 and 6. Now they have options to float all these guys. That's the beauty of their team. I think Riyan will stay at 4. Jurel, Curran and Hetmyer, I think they would kind of play around with it. And they have a replacement of Donovan in case Hetmyer is out of form in that case. Now that left-hander problem is sorted because they have Jadeja. When you put Curran, Hetmyer and Jadeja together, it feels like too many lefties. Knowing Rajasthan, I think one of them would kind of swap at the top. Let me just give you one small caveat before they can comment on it. They've gone back to a completely a formula which worked for them from 22, 23 and 24. The support staff has also completely been replaced, and they've all gone for what has worked, a highly data-based approach which was slightly lacking in 2025. So when you look at that season, when you look at 23 and 24.
Your kind of team.
Is this your favorite team?
No. But yeah.
Data-driven. I'm a
guy in the middle, you know. I'm not this or this.
Okay.
So yeah, do Rajasthan's sort of reliance on data even make you go, no, they're too reliant on data?
No, honestly, I really feel...
the entry points, aren't they?
Yeah, that, and there are a lot more things, right? In terms of the approach, I really think you need to be somewhere in the middle. They're too much on the data side, but they back themselves to do that. That's a process they've set from the top, and they want everybody to be that.
You're
so
not
having
doing
said
well
that,
for your clan right now, GS.
Huh?
You're not doing well for your clan of analysts.
I am being honest. So just one last point. So in 22, 23, 24, they always played with 3 overseas, and they used to bring in a Roman Powell or a Nandre Berger based on the situation because they batted. In fact, now they've actually strengthened their batting. They used to have Shubham Dubey coming in at number 7, that was a problem. So now they technically can have that luxury of playing 3 overseas and then just base it on the match, because their bowling is a bit thin without the
And that is exactly what you have put in your proposed 11. You put 3 overseas, Sam Curran, Hetmyer and Archer, and you've got impact options then depending on how the situation goes. Nandre Berger, Adam Milne, Donovan Ferreira, etc., etc. The big thing he said that I want to first throw at you, Abhi, is Dhruv Jurel at 3. Is that something you see as a lock-in over there? They do have 2 left-handers to open with. So while there are left and righties, it does look like at some point they will come in together.
I think there'll be a little bit of temptation to maybe plug in Shimron Hetmyer because of what he's done for the West Indies in the World Cup at 3.
Right.
to fit him there, but then it becomes a 3 left-hander top 3 becomes all lefties, right? But I think Dhruv Jurel's best position is somewhere in the top 4. If you want to maximize him, you've got to use him there. Shimron Hetmeyer's game against spin has gone up massively over the last 2 or 3 years. He was a pace hitter predominantly in those years that GS was talking about, used as a finisher. I think he'll be very good against spin. And same, the R Ashwin role's been given to Sam Curran, where he pads up and goes in case there is a need in those middle overs. And Donovan Ferreira, I agree. But have they got an upgrade from last season? I definitely think so, because they were reliant on Hasaranga Theekshana. 2 overseas bowlers locked in. They've got Jadeja and Bishnoi. I think Bishnoi will do well in Jaipur. It's a good ground for him to play. And have they got upgrades to their fast bowling resources? Definitely yes. They've got very decent Indian pace bowling backups for what they came into the auction with. They didn't need a keeper to replace a keeper. They already had their captain in place, so the Sanju Samson trade didn't hurt them as much.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing actually.
It's an amazing thing, right? Because Dhruv Jurel's in the mix with is in the fringes of Indian cricket. Suryavanshi will eventually come into the fringe with the way he's playing. So
I have a question coming to you on Suryavanshi in a moment, but before that, quickly on Hetmeyer, was a hot topic last year, Faf, that you at many times with exactly those kinds of things, when you sent in a pinch hitter or sent in someone to disrupt, Hetmeyer didn't get utilized as much. Now that Hetmeyer is having the kind of impact he has in the top order of the West Indies, how important is giving him sort of bigger role, or do you go, no, franchise cricket, he plays that specialist finisher role, middle overs role as left-hander?
Yeah, it depends on your balance of your team. So when he speaks about Dhruv being a top 3 batter and how do you get the best out of him, Hetmeyer can bat 3, 4, 5, 6. He's shown that in most of the teams that he's played for. The form that he's in at the moment at 3 will win you games. It's that successful. But if it means sacrificing a guy completely out of his role because the captain is batting 4, that's the conversations that they will have.
Okay, fair enough.
So Hetmeyer at number 3 will become a tempting option now because of the trade of Jadeja. Rajasthan Royals are very big on having a left-hander in the death, which is why it's the Shubham Dubes was always considered big. They believe that with one side always being short in most IPL games, they always wanted the left hand, and left-hand finishers are premium. There's nobody in the world barring David Miller and maybe an Hetmeyer. Now with Jadeja coming in, and we've seen Jadeja slow to start against spin, they might use Jadeja for that 16 to 20 experienced finisher role where he comes in and smashes pace and tries to finish games, and maybe have that luxury of using Hetmeyer 3, which is possible, which has opened up that possibility this year.
On the whole auction retentions itself, right? Hindsight, do you think Hetmeyer retained over Butler is a good move for them?
No, not at all.
So that's why they're over-reliant on data.
Not at all, and that's because I'm sure that they felt that a left-hand premium batter is more important. Whether the price point they guessed might not have happened.
Even after the string of low scores for Butler and Hetmeyer.
Because they're very detailed, Abhinav. I've seen them, I've seen the way they work. They are super detailed. They follow all the best practices of football and NFL, and they try to apply it on cricket. And what he says, entry points are very key for them.
Suryavanshi. What is a reasonable expectation of Vaibhav Suryavanshi this IPL?
He's going to get 400 runs. If he plays, I'm sure he'll play in the entire season. I think he'll get 400
In
runs.
how many balls?
If he gets 400, it's in half the amount of balls.
No, so I genuinely want to know if teams will come better prepared for him.
Yes.
He's continued to smash it in all cricket outside of in between the last IPL and this one also. So
it's a case of good players and great players. Great players in their second season still flourish. Good players have a good first year, and their second season they dip off. He's in that category of someone that can be a great player. So I expect him to come up with runs again. But yes, teams will be better prepared for him in terms of what is his strengths.
In 20 years from now also, he'll be younger than all of us.
Well, that's normal for me, the guys I play with.
Okay, good luck to Vaibhav Suryavanshi. We have established then that this is an improved team in terms of bowling. Indian spinners replacing overseas spinners. Not really as affected by the loss of Sanju Samson, because both batter and keeper and captain are pretty optimistic options and solid options. They've got some fast bowlers there. Milne, Jofra Archer, that would be all right. And they do have some backups for Hetmeyer as well in Donovan Ferreira.
Yeah, so both those fast bowlers are very injury prone, Adam Milne and Andre Berger. So I think they go hand in hand together.
Sure.
They will play 1 or 2 games, and they'll rotate between the two of them. So very injury prone, and Mills the same. He got injured again now, so you expect half of the season to play them, not for them to get injured.
Okay, well, big call then. But this is a new captain, a new coach, or rather an old coach returning, and of course going back to a formula that is worked for them.
Yeah, they were pretty consistent. 2 playoffs.
They
in
made the
3
playoffs
years.
regularly. Yes, of course. Therefore, after that, I'm going to ask him first.
Yeah.
How far do you see Rajasthan Royals going this season?
I think they'll finish 5th or 6th.
So
I'll
the
give
process will not work for
I'll
them.
give you a reason. Like
Oh.
I have picked the 4 teams with the best bowling attack. I think all the teams we discussed in terms of Lucknow, SRH and RR, they have amazing batting lineups. But I don't know if their bowling can match those of the top 4, whom I think are
Okay.
my top.
Abhi,
No, I don't think they make the top.
don't think RR will make playoffs. Faf.
My top 4 bus is full.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for that. That was our preview to the Rajasthan Royals ahead of IPL 2027.